Welcome everyone to our Yin practice today. This will be a Yin class. I am using Bluetooth this time to see if it improves the quality of the sound. So hopefully it does. If not, then I will go back to making the videos. Hopefully just speaking to the camera, but we'll give it a shot. So let's see how it goes. If you are new to practicing with me, this is a very, very gentle class. It's mostly stretching. All you need is a mat, some room to move around, some room in front of you, some room behind you, a little bit of room ahead, just so that we can reach up. And I just like you to come to a nice seated position. If there's anything that doesn't feel right during the practice, please just stop. There is no right or wrong posture. There's absolutely no reason to have to feel like you need to look like me or look like any picture in any magazine or anything like that. Is just not yoga. Yoga is something that is learning about you internally, your mind, your body, and how the two connect with one another. It's all a learning process. Every time we get a little bit older, our body changes. As we grow from a kid to an adult, our body changes. We're constantly in flux. We're never the same. And so every single day is going to be something different. It could be a little less sleep. It could be a little bit more food that you've had a lack of food, whatever the case may be. It's going to affect our practice every single time. And so if today is the day where you feel like you can go to a deeper stretch, feel free to do it. But again, please, that is never, never the goal. It's always the goal just to release the body, feel the body, understand the differences in the body, and have some fun. So, what I'd like you to do is just find yourself on your mat. I like to start cross legged, but if cross legged doesn't feel right for you, you can always sit with a leg out or up, and you can always change your position at any time you feel like it. So, go ahead and find that comfortable position. And again, I just like a little rock side to side, make sure we're grounded on both sides of the body. And once we've got both of our bodies equally settled onto your mats, we're just going to take our shoulders all the way up. We're going to pull them back and we're going to slide them down. Do this a few times. Big inhale all the way up. Pull back. Slide down. One more time. Big inhale. Roll the shoulders up. Pull them back. Slide them down. Now see if you can just place your hands comfortably on your knees, palms up, palms down. Close your eyes if you're comfortable. Just take a moment to take a full, deep breath right into the belly. Fill those lungs up. Inhale. And then exhale. Could be a big, strong exhale. Don't worry about controlling it. Big inhale. Exhale. Do that 2 more times. Sit up nice and tall as you inhale. Shoulders back and down. Let it go. 1 more time. Big inhale. Let it go. Let's go ahead and take our hands all the way up to the sky. Inhale, look all the way up. Bring those hands down through heart center, pressure between the palms, tuck the chin to the chest. We'll do that again. Big inhale, reach sidewalls, look all the way up. And then exhale, slowly bring those hands down through the center, chin to chest. 1 more time, big inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, come down through the center. Place your thumbs against your chest. Roll the shoulders back and down, and then just turn from your sternum, where your thumbs are, and turn from thoracic spine towards your right knee. And then inhale, and then exhale to the other side. So you're sitting up nice and tall. It's a thoracic spinal twist. Thumbs are right against the chest, so you can see that your hands aren't moving. They're not shifting. It's right from your spine. Nothing to do with shoulders. Inhale. And exhale, twist. 1 more into the center. We're going to add that into our breath. So inhale all the way up. Turn from the sternum and exhale, come down to the right side. Inhale back through center. Not about the shoulders, but from thoracic spine. Exhale, come down through the center. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, twist pressure down into the palms. Inhale all the way up. Thumbs come to the center of your chest as you exhale to come down. We'll do that 1 more time each side. Inhale, look all the way up. Exhale, twist to the right, thumbs to center, chin to chest. Inhale all the way up. thumbs to chest, chin to chest. Inhale all the way up. Exhale those hands down by your sides. Inhale your hands all the way up. Go ahead and bring those hands behind you. If your legs are crossed, go ahead and uncross them now. We have our feet hip distance apart. We've got our chest open. We're lifting up, soft elbow bend. Take your knees over to the right side. Both drop down into the right. Inhale, come back up. And then exhale down to the other side and come back up. Let's do that a couple more times. Exhale, inhale, exhale, and inhale. So we're starting to get into the hips now. We're into the lower back. We're definitely getting into the shoulders. We can add on if we want to here. But again, if this feels good for you right now, and don't worry if the knees don't touch, but if you can, bring them all the way to the right. Lift up your left hand and then place that left hand down all the way to the left with the knees and all the way up with that right hand. Go ahead, do it one more time. Reach, see if you can look at your thumb as you pull your hand behind you. Place it down firmly, flat on the ground, and then lift up and bring yourself down. And we have our feet nice and wide. Fingertips are spread. Fingertips are pointing out to the side. And then we're just going to walk our bum in a little bit more. And then we're just going to lift up to a reverse tabletop. If you're here, that's fine. If you want to come all the way up, let your head hang behind you. Exhale, slowly wind down. We'll do that 2 more times. It's really opening up the chest now. Inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale, coming back down. Last time, inhale all the way up. And exhale, coming back down. All right, let's go ahead and bring ourselves into our cat-cow position. So fingertips spread nice and wide. Knees underneath your hips, toes are tucked, shoulders back and down. And let's flatten out that spine, so pulling up through the core. We're going to actually take our fingertips and turn them towards your knees. Okay, so again, if your fingertips don't want to go all the way in that direction, it's okay to be out to the side a little bit. Don't worry about that. What I want you to do now is just inhale, tuck those toes, inhale, curl your spine up, look at your belly button, press into your fingertips, and really separate your blades in your back. Look up at your belly button. Big, big stretch here. Take a couple of breaths here. On your next inhalation, really send that back up. On your exhalation, drop your belly down. Shoulder blades come together, tailbone tips, and you look all the way up. Just hang out here for a second. Again, you're really rounding the spine, rooting those fingers down, tailbone all the way to the sky, and you're looking up. Can you even get your eyes to look up to the ceiling? Let's float through these 2. So big inhale to rise up to your cat. Tuck that tailbone, chin to chest. Exhale, drop the belly, rising up. Look that gaze to the ceiling. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Big inhale. And exhale. All right, so we should have gotten a stretch now in these forearms. Just sit back. And we're going to now take an opportunity to come into our first child's pose. So knees outside the hips, big toes touch. And go ahead and reach forward. Lengthen all the way out of that spine. If you want it to be a little bit more active than passive, walk your hands further up your mat and bring your chest down. Chin touches, forehead touches, whatever feels good for you. And if the head doesn't touch at all and it's not comfortable, you can always stack one fist, 2 fists, wherever you're comfortable. This is just a gentle hip opener. We can always come back to this position at any time during the class. A couple of more nice deep breaths here. We're going to take ourselves into a downward facing dog. So walk those hands back underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Tuck your toes, and when you're ready, sit back and then press those hips high into the sky. Your feet are hip distance apart. You're looking between your knees. You're letting your head hang. Blood pressure is changing because your head is lower than your heart. And I just want you to work into these ankles now. So I want you to drop your front ankle down and bend your back knee. Now, again, your heel does not have to touch. And if you'd like to lengthen out a little bit more the angle, feel free to walk it out. That'll give me more of a stretch in my calf as I bring my heel down. The less is when you walk yourself up. Okay, you might feel that a little bit more in the hamstrings. So you might want to play with this one just to see where you need the stretch. I'm hoping you're getting it more in the calf than the hamstring, and you're just focusing on sending that one heel down. Now, each leg is going to be different because we have a dominant side of the body. So if the legs are different and you're feeling the stretch in different places, that's okay. We just have to note it. And then we're going to switch to the other side. So go ahead and switch. Again, if you need to play here a little bit, to walk up a little bit and press that hip higher into the sky, press the heel down, see if that works a little bit better for your calf. Or maybe it's the time where you walk it out a little bit more. And for me, it's always walking it out because that angle of flexion here at the ankle is much more when I walk out, sending my hips up into the sky and pressing my heel back. Let the head hang, look between your knees. Nice long stretch. These classes are a lot slower than our regular yoga type classes. Yin is stretching and getting to really understand your mind-body connection. Again, just changing our bodies, sending our hips a little bit higher, shifting the weight forward, backward, pressing the heel down a little bit more. It just changes everything. So feel free to play. Let's go ahead now and just drop that front heel. We're just going for a little bit of a walk and then drop the back heel. And again, if you feel at any time that you need to take a break because those wrists are talking to you, feel free to take child's pose again, but just let that head hang. Really walk it out nice and slow. And then after we've done that a few times, we'll take this front leg high into the sky. Now, if you need to drop that back knee to be down on your knees, that's fine, but we're going to come into a pull through. So we're just going to pull that knee all the way through. You can step, walk, or guide it through. And once it's down, go ahead and drop your knee. Once the knee on the back is down, you have an option to roll up your mat a little bit if you need protection on that knee, or you can walk yourself up onto your thigh. Now my back toe is tucked, and that's giving me a plantar stretch. And now I'm tucking my pelvis under. Okay, so instead of having my butt sticking out, I'm going to tuck it under. I'm putting my hands on my leg and sinking down in. Okay, so I've still got the butt tuck. I'm bringing my knees past my toes. I have my hand on my leg for support, but if you are able to walk down to the floor, feel free to walk down to the floor. Now, there's a couple of places you're going to get the stretch, definitely in the hip flexor. Okay. And if you have tightness in your other hip flexor, you might even feel it there a little bit. For those who want to lift their back knee up and continue to press their heel back, feel free to do so. Keeping the knee on the ground is totally fine. You're going to take your back hand and make sure it's stacked right underneath your shoulder. And once you've got that, you may place your hand on your thigh and turn. Or if you've got good stacking stability and no shoulder issues, go ahead and reach all the way up. Now, again, if holding that knee up is a little too aggressive for you today, drop it down. Totally fine. A couple of more deep breaths here. See if you can look at that top hand. If it's not available to you, feel free to look down at the floor. You can take that top hand and swing it around behind your back. Keep pressing that heel back. Keep rotating that top shoulder. One more nice deep breath. Inhale the hand all the way up. Exhale it down. Drop your back knee down. Walk your hands a little bit behind your foot. Now you have the option to keep that back toe tucked like I have here, and you can just sit back a little bit, walk your hands until you're comfortable. Now, if you have a lot of ability in your hamstring to lengthen out, this is where we can go ahead and sit all the way back. I still have my toe tucked because I'm getting a plantar stretch right here. At any time that becomes too much, just release it and come to a flat foot. I've got my toe pointed here, and if you are comfortable in this position, just stay here. If you want a little bit more, you may walk your hands out further out and just let your head drop down. Hand can be on the outside. If it's more comfortable on the inside, that's fine too. Just allowing yourself to melt down into this one. Target zone for this stretch is definitely in the hamstrings on that front leg. Shifting forward, both hands are on the inside, and I'm going to release my toe down now. Taking your toe in the front out to the side and placing your hands underneath your shoulders. Go ahead and press your hips down, but track your knee towards your second and third toe. So hips drop down. Then we can look all the way up to the sky. Again, it's opening up the hips, and this one is focusing more on the front hip. If you're happy here, please just stay here. Again, you don't have to drop as far as I do. If you're up here, that's totally fine. Your front hand is underneath your shoulder this time. And then we can lift up and hold onto our hip here. That might be enough. If you're okay to open up completely wide, you may do so and open up to the sky. Sinking those hips down, bringing the knee towards the second and third toe. Taking that top hand, if we have anything left that we know that we want to stretch in that chest, pull it down and behind our back. And just a couple more deep breaths here. If you have your hand behind your back, inhale it all the way up and exhale it down to the floor. Walk your hands back in towards your body and then scoop that foot in behind, coming into all fours. Let's do a couple of cat cows here. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, drop the belly button down towards the mat, tailbone to the sky, look up. Two more. Inhale. And exhale. One more time, big inhale. And exhale. Let's come back into our downward facing dog. So my hands are underneath my shoulders, my toes are tucked. I sit back into my heels, getting a little stretch here, and then I press my hips up. Now again, we have opportunity to play here with walking the dog. So walk those hands out a little bit more if it feels better for the stretch. Head hangs, look between your knees. Just pedal it out. Press both of your heels back. Send your butt as high as you can. Let your head hang. And then we're going to walk our hands in just a little bit more, especially if you've outstretched. And we're going to lift that back leg high into the sky. We're going to pull that knee through, so pull it up into the chest, and then help that foot or place it down between your hands. You can drop that back knee. If you need that extra padding or support, feel free to go for it now. And then we're just going to walk ourselves up onto our knee. Okay, talking about our positioning again. My toe is tucked. Again, we don't get often a chance to stretch out those back toes. So if you're up here and you're just stretching out your toes right now, that's good. And then from here, our hands are on our thigh for support. And instead of leaning in and sticking our butts back, which is what we normally do, we're going to roll our shoulders back and we're going to tuck our tailbone in. So we're squeezing our butt cheek. Okay? And with that butt cheek fully engaged, that's when we can lean forward. And again, knee can pass the toe. I'm not worried about that. And if you are engaging your butt, you're going to feel that nice stretch down the hip flexor. If you're comfortable here, stay right here. If you want to walk yourself down, go ahead and walk yourself down. We have the opportunity, of course, to lift that front knee. Both toes are facing forward. So make sure we're not on an angle here or dropping that heel, because I still want you to get that pressing back feeling of that heel towards the base of the mat. And again, if your knee is down, it's straight down. We're not twisted out to the side. Okay? So same alignment whether you're on your knee or whether you're up on your toe. Now we can place our front hand down underneath our shoulder, and we can come into that big twist here. Again, at any time that is too much, you can drop down, and if you want to re-engage at any time, just squeeze your butt and lift up, and it lengthens out through that front leg again. Okay? So again, not necessary, especially if you did a lot of walking like I did yesterday. I've been feeling my legs. Top hand can sweep behind your back. If you want to open up that chest a little bit more, rotate that top shoulder. Option to look all the way up to the ceiling. That gets the cervical spinal twist. You can also look down at the mat. Just some nice deep breaths here. Keep pushing your heel to the back of the mat if you are up, if your knee is elevated. You have your hand behind your back. Inhale it to the sky. And exhale it down on the inside or on the side of your foot, not on the inside yet. We're just dropping that knee down, and we're going to come into the hamstring stretch. So walk your hands back a little bit. My toe is tucked. Again, we might find that one leg is tighter than the other, so we might need to keep a knee bend here. Totally fine. If you're capable of letting it go all the way down, you can. And of course, we have the opportunity here to let our hands wander forward if it feels good. I'm getting a lot of stretch in my toes. You could probably see my toes with the flexion there. I'm getting a big stretch in my hamstrings and the back leg. Because my hands are reaching forward, I'm getting it a little bit in my lats. Again, we don't reach over our head too often, so any chance that we can stretch those muscles by reaching over our heads. We used to have to stretch and reach over our heads a lot, but in modern day society, we make sure that everything is not above our heads. We don't have to climb trees or climb ladders or poles or anything like that anymore. Most of the stuff is at eye level or lower. Walk your hands back in, and let's go ahead and walk ourselves back up so that we're in that 90-90 or close to it. We're going to take that back foot and just walk it out to the side now. And we're going to turn the toe out to face on the diagonal. Okay? Hands are both on the inside here. Walk yourself forward and go ahead and drop into those hips. So now we're just dropping into it. Your knee tracks towards the second and third toe. And you can place that foot down anytime or tuck it back in. Now again, the more that you are taking that knee and sending it out to the side, the more you're going to feel it in that back hip. You're still getting the hip flexor. Staying here, this is fine. You're also getting some work by just holding up your upper body. So again, a lot of the times we don't have to hold our upper body or use our ability to lift ourselves up off of the ground because we're usually sitting in seats. So it's very important that you have upper body strength to be able to do this push up off the ground. So just by holding yourself up here, it's strengthening. Now you can have that back hand directly underneath the shoulder. And if you want a little bit more, you can lift up that front hand and see if it can go on the hip. If putting your hand on the hip drives those hips down and it's uncomfortable, right back to the floor. But if you've put your hand on your hip and it's still good, and you need to readjust your position in any way, feel free to go for it. And then we can always inhale to the sky. Sink those hips as much as you can. And then exhale, sweep it behind. Look over that shoulder. Straight ahead is an option. Down is an option. Most challenging one is to look up because it helps you roll the shoulder and drop down a little bit further. On your next inhale, if you have your hand behind the back, inhale it up. Exhale it down. Walk your hands in towards your body. Scoop that back leg in and you're back to all fours. Let's go ahead and roll over and come onto our mats. We should be feeling some really good stretches in those hips, hamstrings, butt. All right. So let's go back to our original shoulders back and down. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale down through the center, chin to chest. Inhale, rise those hands up, look to the sky. Exhale down the right side. Inhale up. Exhale down the left side. We're going to go more into these twists. So inhale all the way up. Exhale your hands through heart center. Let's take those legs out to the side. You can place those hands behind your back to give yourself a little bit more hip opening. So we've done quite a bit of hip work. So if you don't need any more, don't worry about it. But if you'd like to shift your hips forward a little bit more and open up, you can do that. And then just sit up nice and tall and have your hands in front of you. If you have a block or a yoga block or any kind of book that will help you elevate and you want to use that, that's fine. The other option is to bend your knees and just bring them in again. All right. So we're sitting up nice and tall. We're going to inhale all the way up. Exhale down through the center. Getting deeper into the spinal twist. Inhale all the way up. Twist to the right knee and down. Inhale all the way up. Twist to the left. If you're good, you stay with this. Inhale all the way up. Bringing your left hand towards your knee, your right hand behind you. Inhale, look up. Exhale and reach. See if you can touch your knee. Reach behind you with the other hand. Inhale up. If the knee is possible, maybe you reach for your ankle or your calf. Inhale all the way up and switch the other way. Inhale. Exhale. Maybe some of us can reach those toes. Inhale up and exhale, reach. Last time, inhale up. Exhale, reach. If you're here with the hand beside your knee, just don't press down on the knee. Just hook under it. If you're okay, you can reach down for your shin. If you have a lot of mobility and you want to flex your toe, you can reach either for the toe, getting a little bit more stretch in the plantar surface of the foot, as well as the Achilles. And if you have a lot more, you can take your hand to the outside of your foot, scoop it around, and then just lean forward. Now, the key to this one is your other hip is going to want to pull off. We don't want that to happen. If that's the case, then here is your option. Here is your option. Okay? We do not want that back hip to lift greatly off of the floor. We want to be able to get the stretch across the back of your shoulder into your hamstring and a spinal twist as you come across with that hand. Now, again, if you're here and you're holding on, you can always go here and see if that is available to you here or here. Okay, so just try those variations. Your backhand is supporting you, but if you really have the ability to walk that hand out, again, just walk those fingers out, walk it behind you and see how that feels. And if you're able to, lift the hand off and go ahead and see if you can look at it thumb up to the sky, lean on in. So you're peeling your chest open in this deep twist. Again, you're feeling it in the back of your shoulder, feeling it in the back of your right leg. You can take that backhand, maybe wrap it around, but you're pushing yourself through. We're not driving down with gravity. We're actually pushing ourselves through. So active postures here, active stretching. Take a deep breath in. Wherever you are, exhale both hands by your knees and then walk yourself up. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we're getting that nice stretch across the shoulders. We're still working into our hamstrings. We need a lot of work on those hamstrings because we sit all the time. So we're going to just inhale our hands all the way up. Exhale them through heart center. Inhale all the way up. Go ahead and reach the right hand to the left leg. Anywhere in here. Inhale up. Exhale. And just check out on the side if you've got a lot more range of motion. I certainly do. Inhale up. Exhale. Cross. Reach wherever it makes sense for you. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Reach. Inhale up. And exhale. Twist. Let's go for the knee first. Okay. So we're holding on to the back of our knee. And that allow us to press down with our quad. And that gives us a nice twist here. Okay, so that will still give you a lot of shoulder stretch. It still might feel in the hamstring and the adductor. And you can get that twist just by placing your hand down in the back and rotating back. If you have a little bit more flexibility, see if you can reach down and maybe get to that ankle. That other hand can support you wherever you need it. Flexing at the heel and reaching for the big toe will give you a little bit more stretch in the calf. And for those who have the ability to keep your other butt cheek on the mat and reach and hold onto the outside of your foot, go for it. Now again, we want to have our fingertips down. We do not want to just automatically lift this arm off. We don't want to put stress on the back or any other muscles that are not prepared for it. So just go ahead and walk your fingers out from your body as far as you can. And then walk them behind you. And see as you slowly make that move, if that's telling you in any part of your body that you are not ready to lift off that hand. We're moving slow for a reason. You will know your body when you go slow. When we do things fast, we are not thinking about it. We're on the move and we're not thinking about how the body's reacting. This is your time to understand the mechanics of your body. Now, if you're here, 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 lots of places to be. Okay? You can lift off that backhand, and with that backhand lifted off, this is where you're going to be able to pull yourself through a little bit more and look behind you. Okay, so again, this is the most advanced twist and not necessary because twisting and lengthening are all individual to how you use your body. So if you're not as flexible to get into this posture, as long as you're feeling something either in the hamstring, across your shoulder, maybe in plantar surface of your foot, calf, they're all connected. So if one is tight, that's okay. Just breathe into that part, and eventually when that one gets lengthened, you'll find another place that's tight because they're all connected, and because we are moving them and using them all the time, they are going to tighten up. So it's highly unlikely that you'll come into one of these stretches and just feel perfect in every single muscle. If we have our hand behind us, we can tuck it behind our back, and then we can really rotate through. That top shoulder pulls back. Bottom shoulder is being anchored by the hand either on your ankle, on your leg, on your knee. A couple of deep breaths here. Take a deep breath in. On that exhale, walk your hands to either side of the knee and then gently walk yourself back up, back to seated. Go ahead and grab underneath one of those knees and slide that foot up. Go ahead and do it on the other side. And let's go ahead and get ourselves on our mats. We can rock and roll down if we want a little bit of a spinal massage just by holding onto the knees. Tuck your chin in, really curve out that spine, and then roll back, keeping that curve, and then come back up. We'll do that 2 more times. Roll down, roll up. Last one to roll down, roll up, and then release down onto your mat. We're going to take this for a supine twist. So we're just going to take our arms out. Our knees are at 90-degree bends, and we're just going to, or they're not at 90-degree bends, they are bent. 90-degree bend would be this. We're not going to tabletop this way. We're just coming down with our feet on the floor. We're going to lengthen our front leg out, and then we're just going to let the back knee drop over to the front side. Now, if this is where you want to stay, totally fine. If you want to take that front hand and grab onto the back knee and pull it up into the chest and then let it slide down towards the floor, that's fine. Just want you to actively think about that back shoulder, reaching that hand far from the body. At any time that this is too much, just stack those knees together. So just bring those knees together at a 90-degree bend. If you've still got your leg fully outstretched and you've got your knee, your top knee in your hand, you have one more option here for a back bend. You can take that leg that is fully outstretched on the bottom and bend it at the knee and bring your heel towards your bum. It doesn't have to touch, but that's the direction it's going in. And then you can look all the way at your back and take that back hand and scoop it down to see if you can find your foot. Now, if you can find your toe, and you'll be in a bit of a knot here. You pull the knee up, you pull the toes in, and then you turn your head away. You're pulling the cat's tail. Now, again, at any time, this doesn't feel right, either in the shoulders, because we're doing a lot of opening of the chest in this one. Again, another deeper twist. Not so much for the hips, little bit for the glutes as you're in a spinal twist, but this is mostly for the spine and the chest now. Couple of nice deep breaths here. See if you can relax your jaw and your eyes a little bit more. Let your lips part. See if you've got any tension in your glutes. I was squeezing mine. I've just relaxed them. Again, you're on the floor. You're fully protected. You can't fall. You don't need balance. So just try and relax all those muscles. Sometimes even when we sleep, we don't get a chance to relax all of our muscles. We tense them up in the night. Some people feel it in their jaw. Some people feel it in their shoulders. Some people feel it in their hips. Let's just try and actively, while we're awake and conscious, focus in on those spots that we know that sometimes we wake up with tension in. And that's us, our subconscious, just holding that tension in as we try and fall asleep. We'll do another couple of deep breaths here. And if we've turned to look away, we'll bring our head back to neutral. If you've clasped your back foot, let it go and just lengthen out through that leg again. And then take your back hand out, releasing the knee in the front. That hand now joins the other for a T. And then you can slowly roll yourself back onto your back. Heels close to your bum. Reposition your hips. Lift those hips up and place your butt down. And we're going to do everything on the other side. So this time you're lengthening the back leg. Hands are out like a T, and go ahead and just let that knee fall across the body to the back. Now, again, if you're like me, I'm on my toe here. If you can place your foot on your leg. If it can go all the way across, just readjust your hips and let that knee fall all the way. If that's too much for the lower back, option stack the knees. Once we've been in this position for a little bit and deciding how we feel, we can always reach for that knee with the opposite hand, pulling it up a little bit closer to our chest. Again, this might be enough. Again, trying not to squeeze your butt, trying to relax your head and your shoulders. Again, I just give you options. It deepens the stretch. We move slowly through this, so at any time you will reach the point where you just want to lie here, feel free to stay and just continue to check in with your jaw and your eyes, those shoulders. If you would like to bend your bottom knee and bring the heel towards your bum, feel free to do that now. And that front hand, it can arch with the back and reach for the toes if you can find them. And then once we've got those toes, we pull that top shoulder down and we look all the way behind us. This is the deepest expression of this pose, pulling the cat's tail. And again, never necessary to get into. It's just progressions, and if you find that one side of the body is able to get into it and the other one isn't, then you just know that there's some imbalances and it's time to focus in on your daily activities, maybe how you sit, how you carry a bag, something that you're doing continuously that is causing that imbalance. And it's a good time just to reflect on daily things that you do. Could be the way you sleep. You might be always sleeping on the same side of the bed. It's just so many different things that we do unconsciously. We're humans like repetitiveness. We like to have the same locker in the gym. We like to have the same spot to be in our yoga studios. We like to have the same parking spot or general area when we go to our stores. We don't usually change our way around to get into malls and stuff. We tend to go through the same doors because we're just creatures of habit and that protects us. So it's not a bad thing to have habitualization. But when that habitualization starts to take some toll on your body because you're repeatedly doing things on the same side, that's when you got to shake things up a little bit. So just reflect on what is loose, what is tight, and then just see if you can go back and think about things that you do in your everyday life that may be contributing to that imbalance. We're going to release the foot if we've caught it and just slide that hand back up. And then once that hand's back up, we're going to release the knee in the front. And the hand is like a T, so we've got a T here. Lengthen out that bottom leg. And then slowly bring yourself all the way back onto your spine, heels close to your bum. And release. We just take our hands down by our sides. Our heels are close to our bum. We're going to lift off into our bridge. So peeling your spine off, coming up onto the shoulders, your posterior chin, getting that big stretch, and then lower down as you exhale. Let's do it 2 more times. Big inhale, rising up. Tilt the pelvis, press into the heels. Chin to chest, you're right up on those shoulders. Roll it down. Last one. Big inhale, press into those feet, squeeze your buttocks, use your hamstrings, glutes, lower back to arch. If you're comfortable here or uncomfortable, lower yourself down. But if this is comfortable, walk your shoulders underneath, squeeze them together. And if you can, interlace those fingers. Lifting up a little bit higher through the pelvis. A couple more deep breaths. Unwalk the hands, unwalk the shoulders, roll down, and pull the knees into your chest. Gentle rock side to side. We're going to come into our final Shavasana. Now, Shavasana can be done on your back. It can be done on your belly. You can lie on your belly. There's absolutely no right or wrong for Shavasana. I just want you to be in a relaxed pose. If you would like to just keep your feet down and your knees together, that is totally fine. Those palms can be faced up. They can be face down. They can be up over your head, out to the side. You might even like to interlace those fingers and cradle your head. If you'd like to extend those legs out and we have no issues with the back, we can go ahead and lengthen one leg out. Foot falls out to the side. Lengthen the other one out. Foot falls out to the side. We'll just take a nice deep breath in like we did at the beginning of the class. Big inhale. Let it go. Two more. Big inhale. Rise that belly up. Let it go. One more. Soften your jaw. Let the lips part. The tongue, let it be heavy. The back of the mouth, it pulls away from the roof of the mouth. It just hangs there. Then you're softening the eyes, relaxing any of the muscles that are around the sides of the eyes and the forehead. And we're taking our awareness into our shoulders. If we're still having them up around our ears, just walk them together down and under. And just relax. And we did a lot for your hips. So if you need to shimmy them by squeezing one butt cheek and then squeezing the other, that's how you get a shimmy going. So just a little shake, shake, and then let it go. We worked into those calves, those ankles, and those toes today. So if you just need to give those toes a little bit of a wiggle and those ankles a little bit of a rock, go ahead and do it. And then just let the feet fall. My hands are behind the head, but if you'd like to as well, give those fingers a little bit of a wiggle, rotate those ankle or rotate the wrists, and then just let those hands come back down to where they feel comfortable. And just take the deep breath in. This time, slowly let it go. One more time. And then we're just lying here for silence for as long as you need to. We'll try and make it about 2-3 minutes of just lying here in silence. If you need more, feel free. Otherwise, we're just, again, focusing on our body, relaxing our face, our jaw, our eyes, and just being present here in the moment, thinking about anything that's around you, any sounds that you hear. As long as you're in the present moment, not thinking about what you have to do in the future or what happened yesterday, those are two areas that we can't control. They're not important until we get there in the present moment. And right now, in your present moment, you're just trying to relax out all of your muscles. If we lose that concentration, we just come back to breathing. Now feel free to stay in your Shavasana as long as you'd like. But if it is time to bring awareness back into the body, you can start by sliding one of your heels in towards your body, followed by the other one. Your hands, if they're behind your head, are outstretched. Let's just release them down and catch your front knee in both of your hands and pull it in towards your chest. Rotate your ankle in one direction, drawing big circles, leading with your big toe, and then do it the other way. And then we can hold on to behind our knee or our calf and just lift up and release a little bit in the hamstring, crossing that ankle to the thigh, and then just gently pulling those hands through. Little supine pigeon here, hands on your hamstring or on your shin, and a little rock side to side for your spine. And placing your foot down, unwind, other foot comes down. We're holding that knee into the chest. So you're on the back knee now. Pull it in, drawing big circles with your big toe through the ankle joint. And then the other direction. Holding onto the back of the knee or sliding your hands onto your calf, lifting up. Taking that ankle, crossing it over the thigh, threading through to hold onto your hamstring or your shin. And then gently a little rock side to side if it feels good. Let's release that foot down, unwind, unhook, hands out like a T, a gentle shift side to side. And then once we've got a little bit of a rock going on, just choose a side for those knees to drop onto and roll completely onto your side. Bottom arm is your pillow, top hand in front of your belly. Then when you're ready to sit up, press the hand in front of the belly, walk up with the other one, coming back to our seated posture. We'll end the class with 2 nice deep breaths, so shoulders up, back, and down, eyes opened or closed. Take those hands all the way up to the sky, look to the ceiling. Bring them down through heart center, chin to the chest. Last time, big inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale those hands down through the center. I hope everyone enjoyed the practice today. I hope that you are feeling a little bit looser in the bottom half for sure, maybe a little bit looser from the thoracic spine. And I will hopefully be able to produce another video for you next week. It'll probably be a Pilates. So if you were looking forward to a Pilates one, it should be coming in the near future. So have a great rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, and I'll see you soon. Take care.